This is Skye, your soulful progressive with FNN-Feminist News Network, that feminist news that's right for you. Welcome to Skye on location in Waikiki, Hawaii, Kapi'olani Park behind Diamond Head. Alright, now if you haven't told your friends to like and subscribe and get that feminist news like you need, you better let them know indeed. Now, what is it that I want to talk to you about today out here in Hawaii? What is it that I need to mention? Andrew Yang. I know that's right. I've been doing a lot of Andrew Yang videos, and I've been hearing from a lot of people, what is Andrew Yang really got for the ADOS? Well, I saw an interview with the Roots where he came down on them real good, and he kept saying UBI, UBI. So we're going to take a look and see what Andrew Yang really has for the ADOS, and then we're going to discuss. All right.
It is, we put $1,000 a month into everyone's hands. That would be literally hundreds of billions of dollars in the hands of African Americans every single year.
We get that. So
and then at that point, then you start looking and saying, okay, what more can we do? But you start with something that will disproportionately help people of color.
Not people of color, black people.
Yes.
Let's stick to black people. And you agree with the moral argument.
Yes.
Do you agree with a practical economic plan that will carry out some form of reparations, whatever it may be, for black people?
I believe that we need to move in that direction as fast as possible, yes.
Do you think soon that you will come up with a plan of what that could potentially look like?
Well, so I have some policy proposals that are specifically directed at strengthening, the black community.
Tell us more.
So one is that if you look at historically black colleges and universities, the problem in our educational system is that it makes more sense to cater to people that have lots of money that can pay you and then donate afterwards.
Sure.
Meanwhile, HBCUs have been incredibly successful at elevating the paths of hundreds of thousands of African Americans, and a lot of those schools are now struggling because they're serving a group that doesn't necessarily have the means to come back and donate a ton. So the federal government needs to step in and say, look, we need to shore up the endowments of these historically black colleges and universities that have been awesomely successful and been pillars of our country for decades in many cases, because this is something where the market will not suffice. So I will vow as president, we're going to make the drinking water in Flint crystal safe as can be, and whatever that takes. And if that takes federal money going in and just tearing out all of those pipes and rebuilding them from ground zero, then that's what we're going to do. And if the state of Michigan doesn't have the will to do that, then we'll do it as a federal government.
Do you feel that as president that there should be a federal inquiry into what happened?
Yes. And the thing is, Flint is a national symbol, but there are other Flints. Flint is not an isolated case in the sense that there are other decaying water systems that are now funneling contaminated water to children in other communities.
I know you saw that. Now, he kept saying UBI, UBI, and it was early in the game. It was way back in March. He wasn't going to even start the first debate until April and May. So, he really hadn't got his campaign going. He needs to know better than to understand there has to be a specific policy for ADOS. And what does that specific policy needs to be? Well, let me help you, Andrew Yang, because there is one. First off, if you want to help build that divide of the wealth gap, which will still be there with your UBI, this is how you do it. Stop the damn redlining. That will help out a whole lot. I was happy that he mentioned HBUs, because he needs to. That's a good start, but work with the redlining. That'll help with loans, car loans, home and mortgage loans, and even help change the insurance rates. and with universal health care and your UBI, and working toward the climate change to create new jobs that aren't automated, because you can't automate all those solar panels that need to go up. You can't automate the restructuring of the infrastructure. You can't automate all that. You still need men to get out there and build those new roads, even if the computed cars needed to go down. Now, and bring back unions. Now, he's a businessman, and we all know that he's not grand to stand on the $15 an hour, as mentioned in with Jimmy Dore. And he's explaining why when Jimmy is holding to him to the fire on this. And you know what? They'll get away with paying under the gun and stuff like that. But we're talking about the bigger businesses, yeah. The ones that need to go $15 an hour should. And maybe Jimmy wasn't poisoning, maybe Jimmy didn't, okay, so in regards to that, maybe Jimmy didn't poise the question the right way to say, if you can afford that 15, you should be paying it. And maybe there can be, grants and exceptions to those that can't. You can work that into the system, baby. You really can. Because I know that I try to work for my own all the time. I can't afford to hire employees, even if I would like to, because I can't. I'm a one-woman team. I can't afford it at all, so I don't go there. So I'm not even a part of that type of discussion. But what I am a part of is being down with building that wealth gap and narrowing it down for the ADOS. And if Yang can get his gang to get on the same page as ADOS, we can work this out. Now, Yvette Carnell is having her gathering in Louisville, Kentucky in October, where they're going to set an agenda and get things together. And maybe they can invite somebody like Yang to come down and talk to them and help establish the fact that he can carry their policy for them, and then they can have their policy go to a national level. Because to expect Bernie, who is not for reparations, is wrong. But call on Telsey. Telsey is for reparations. Maybe she can show up, Yvette, and do that and be a part of it and help you push your agenda. Work with the people of color. That's what I say. Because is Cory Booker going to do it? Establishment. I don't know. I don't think so. Kamala Harris? Too establishment to even mention. But Yang, this is all I got to say about this before the sun sets behind me and in front of me at the beach. And that is this. Out of all of the candidates, him and Telsey are the only ones I believe you can talk to. Get your agenda to. And let him listen, understand, as a man that knows math. Because he's talking like, well, if you were to pay the true worth of what is needed in reparations, nobody could afford it. Well, yeah, true. The skilled labor and the things that built America today, if you were to build it from scratch again now, and take capitalism to where it's going to be in another 200 years and started right now, in this world, no. There's no price that can be paid. But there can be a lot of other reparations made. Maybe for the ADOS, bump that 1,000 up a couple of hundred or a few hundred more until it's paid for. Or maybe create the redlining, no more policies. help with immigration, help with starting of businesses. There's a whole lot of ways. Can he look at them? Can he see them? Will he even listen to them? Well, we gotta see. And the first way you start is by making him take a listen and look. I know that's right. Now, I'm gonna wait out the next 2 debates because I know they're gonna be great. And hopefully he'll mention these things and people will start mentioning it to him in regards to the different policies, not just that ADOS makes, but for the Hispanic community, for the other communities, maybe the Dominicans, the Haitians, the non-ADOS, the Muslim and sect communities. There's a lot of communities of color out there, and each and every one, maybe with a strong immigration plan, maybe with a strong redlining plan, maybe with a stronger UBI plan, we can take care of this and set America right. Maybe if he listened to all the Indian nations and let them be a little more independent. All right, so if you agree with me that Andrew Yang is up to listening to the ADOS agenda and other cultural agendas to add to his UBI plan and other political agenda plans that he has, including climate change now. All right, get better than going to higher ground, which is a good plan, which it is needed. Now, if you agree with me, leave comments below and let me know at FeministNewsN@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. And remember, I'm that Soulful Progress 1 on Twitter and got that rant of the day on Blogger. And remember, I also have those Feminist News tees. Yes, indeed. Yeah, feminism is for everyone. I know that's right. So, if you remember, I'm that one-woman team, so PayPal me /Feminist News Network. Thanks in advance. All right, so, all right, Yang Gang, I really want to hear what you got to say on this because this is something that he has to put up with. All right, so remember, in this era of hate, the Yang Gang's got to set it straight. I know that's right. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Peace.